So this is the companion piece to the earlier video, top 5 reasons to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. Here are the top 5 reasons to not believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020, because you need the yin and the yang, you need the sweet and the sour, you need things to balance out, right? You can't have darkness without light or light without darkness. Either way, one of the two. So here you go, 5 reasons why not to believe in Kirky this year. Reason number 1, Kirky still needs too much help. Like I think this is just who Kirk is. And you saw this in Michigan State when you had Le'Veon Bell, and you saw this in Washington when you had consistently had one of the best offensive lines in the league, is that Kirk needs everything around him to go right. Like, Kirk is not a Russell Wilson where you can have whatever wide receivers as well as offensive line that John Schneider and Pete Carroll treat like a science experiment in front of him and still be successful, right? Kirk, when he's protected, when he has a good running game, when he has good receivers, when he has competent coaching around him and a good defense opposite of him, like, you can win games and you can even win a Super Bowl with Kirk Cousins. But if any of those fail, you're going to have a rough time of it, right? So Kirk, I think that's fine. It is what it is, and the Vikings have striven to improve in all those aspects around him. But if one of them goes haywire, it's a good macro analogy for his play on a given down, right? So you look at Kirk Cousins, he's phenomenal when things are on schedule, when this read progresses into this read, oh, that's open, oh, check the box set. But if he's forced to improvise, if things aren't going the way that they were planned to, it can be a little rough, right? So I think that could be a drawback on Kirk Cousins in 2020. Next up, reason number 2, not to believe in 8 in 2020. Kirk plateaued, and we talked about that. Kirk Cousins last year had a career high in quarterback rating, QBR, DVOA, as well as PFF grade, and even went on the road and won a playoff game. Not first playoff win of his career, just a little notch in his bedpost. It's wonderful. It's great, right? But can Kirk build on that? You know, can he? Or it was 2019 just that shooting star out of nowhere, a la the Vikings 2017, a la Case Keenum 2017, that 1 year where everything just came together and was perfect and good to go, and then just clearly recedes back to the mean, regression back to the mean. Is that going to happen, right? I'm hopeful that it's not. Well, obviously we're hopeful that it's not, and Kirk Cousins can build on that, but if you were a betting man, would you say that 2019 would be Kirk Cousins' best season of his career, both stats-wise and team success-wise? It would be tempting. It would be tempting. Hopefully it's not the case. Reason number 3, not to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. The offensive line could remain bad. All right, because the offensive line last year, it certainly had gotten better over previous seasons, but still won't be confused for an elite unit anytime soon. And also, they are trying to improve it. All right, so last year taking Drew Samia in the 4th round, Oli Udoh in the 6th round, as well as this year taking Ezra Cleveland in the 2nd round. And we're hopeful that some of these young guys will pan out. Hopefully Ezra Cleveland can get on the field sooner rather than later. But with the weird-ass offseason, with no OTAs, no rookie camp, and potentially who the hell knows what's going to happen with training camp, I actually think that the NFL is an underdog to have any preseason games this year. So lower reps and fewer chances for young guys to prove themselves. I think the Vikings seriously could roll into 2020, the left side of the offensive line, with Riley Reif back again, with Pat Elflein back again, Garrett Bradbury, fewer reps. Hopefully you can get things going in year 2. The right guard could be Drew Samia, could be Oli Udoh, could be Dakota Dozier, could be whatever. And the right tackle, of course, Brian O'Neill, one of the best rising young studs in the league. But that left side, I don't know, man. I don't know. So the consistent faults that we had with Pat Elflein last year, and the fact that Riley Reif played well against bad competition, played terrible against good competition, if that carries over in 2020 again, I think you'll get similar results. Yeah. Next up, reason number 4, not to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. No Diggs. Even though Stephon Diggs and Kirk Cousins obviously had their differences, which led to Stephon Diggs being traded out of town the day that Kirk Cousins signed his extension and became the de facto GM of the Vikings. So many people just buy into cognitive dissonance. It's like, well, yeah, it just happened. Yeah, baloney. But Cousins was great last year with Stephon Diggs. Diggs really helped. He was the Vikings passing game for stretches late last year when Adam Thielen was on blocks, where Yes, BC Johnson was great. Irv Smith was great. Kyle Rudolph is great. But also, I mean, you just are missing that deep element. Now, I think that Adam Thielen kicking outside more to the X and Z receiver spots can fill in and reemerge as a great outside threat, even though he's been more phenomenally used in slot past seasons. But Thielen on the outside, great. Justin Jefferson is a question mark if they use him in the slot, if they use him a lot of in-breaking routes in the middle of the field. I think it'll be phenomenal. But just replacing that deep, dynamic threat. And Kirk Cousins is one of the best deep ball quarterbacks in the NFL. Respect where it's due. Replacing that's going to be tough. And looking at the Vikings wide receiver roster right now, I mean, there's a lot of really good slot possession receivers, not a lot of those deep, take the top off the defense type guys, which Kirk Cousins has thriven. Is that a word? Thrived with throughout his career. Not on the roster right now. Lastly, reason number 5 not to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. He's Kirk and we're the Vikings. I mean, you want things to come together, but sometimes, some way, history just always repeats itself because time is a flat circle. Kirk Cousins will always find the banana peel. Same thing with the Vikings franchise. And even if they go 18-0, and then they get to the Super Bowl, they'll just blood. Like, it'll be 38-7. It'll be 41 donut. I don't know. Just like, and I've advised Vikings fans, let's try and get ourselves out of this quagmire, out of this Eeyore, oh, woe is me, gallows humor type, here we go again type attitude. But it's always there. It's always there. Is this team and fan base cursed? I don't know. It's possible. But that's it. Those are 5 reasons not to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. Again, check out our earlier video, 5 reasons to believe in Kirk Cousins in 2020. That's a much more fun video to do. But what are your thoughts? Do you believe, not believe? Let them be known in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Pull us up on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull, production value.